Well, this year's Pulitzer Prize will be handed out on Monday at Columbia University. San Francisco's Mark Fiore, a political cartoonist who creates online animations, has been awarded the Pulitzer for editorial cartooning. Spencer Michaels looks at Fiore's use of biting satire in this profile, co-produced by KQED Spark and PBS NewsHour.
From New York to San Francisco comes word across the wires of a Pulitzer on the mark? What's the story, ink-stained Fiore?
The story is that 40-year-old Mark Fiore is the first internet animator to win a Pulitzer Prize for political cartooning. His work appears only online, on his own website, plus that of the San Francisco Chronicle, National Public Radio, and other outlets.
We have now is not the time for party crashers.
Fiore's range is broad, his perspective left of center.
We tackle war, warming, healthcare, torture, spying, and the impact of the great economic implosion.
His cartoons were among the first to go online, but today there's a growing body of animated internet satire with their roots in print.
I like to think that I won not because it's new and different and uses the media in a different way, but I think I won because it has a message and it says something, and it really packs a punch.
Fiore diligently reads and watches the news for something that gets him angry.
It starts by getting worked up about an issue and then researching it more, drilling down, and then trying to simplify that into a message.
At first, Fiore says that anger really showed in his cartoons.
There was a lot of, ham-fisted, heavy-handed cartooning. And after a while, it gets really old and boring. I still get angry, but that's internally. And the cartoons may get that anger out much more through humor and through a little more of a finessing. You open a place in people's mind when you start the little humor engine going, and you can get in there with a little more opinion and a little more pointed satire if it's funny.
You socialist organ harvesters pushed through the health care bill.
Oh, Mr. Dan, that's wonderful. 32 million uninsured people will now have health coverage. What did you say about organ harvesting?
Your Obamacare tyranny has begun. I'm talking about freedom-killing, death panel-loving totalitarianism.
You mean the part of the bill that makes it so you can't cancel someone's insurance if they get sick?
No, dog.
Healthcare reform was kind of a boring cartoon topic. Because really, when you think of healthcare reform, it only got exciting because of all the battling and the fighting and the Tea Party and and the back and forth between the conservatives and the liberals.
Fiore makes no bones about being liberal.
I've really gone pretty heavy after the Tea Party crew, mainly because there's a lot of people that are in the Tea Party movement that are just saying insanely extreme things that aren't true.
You can be fluent in conversational teabag in just a few short minutes. Use teabag's stronger, more descriptive words.
Nazi, Nazi, Nazi.
Perfect.
I don't want Obamunist disembowelatrons to come between me and my doctor.
But he finds plenty to satirize in the Democratic White House.
I've criticized Obama for his stance on domestic spying and for continuing some of the same things the Bush administration has been doing.
I've decided to implement the least worst plan of terribleness. I had the difficult duty of ordering 30,000 additional young servicemen and women to war. We will de-escalate by escalating, exit by entering, and we'll make good with bad. America does not shrink in the face of President Karzai's brother. Please, do not sell drugs on stage.
Fiore grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, got a degree in political science from Colorado College, and then a job doing print cartoons at the San Jose Mercury News. 10 years ago, he began freelancing his animated political cartoons, which don't sit well with everyone. He gets plenty of criticism and puts a lot of it on his website.
Are we supposed to take you seriously, Mark Fiore?
I wanted to say to you, you're an idiot.
You, sir, remind me of something one vomits up after they've had a bad meal.
There's a big push these days to represent both sides. And it's very hard for anybody in journalism to represent both sides when one side is not based in fact or reality, let alone hard for a cartoonist to represent that. Because I don't think a political cartoonist particularly should always represent both sides.
Fiore wanted to put his cartoons into an application for the iPhone, but last December Apple turned him down, and he later read that the company doesn't allow ridicule of public figures.
And lo and behold, I win the Pulitzer, this article comes out, and that same day I get a call from Apple saying, hey, maybe you should resubmit that app. So I'm in the process of resubmitting, and I hope they basically just take that part out of the contract and realize that satire and political discourse is important and should be accepted.
This month, after he received his Pulitzer, Apple relented. Despite his prize, Fiore still has deadlines to meet. The target this time, Goldman Sachs, and the fund it allegedly set up to lose money.
But why fix what's broken when you can make it worse and profit handsomely?
Goldman Sachs has been, just an insane cartoonist dream over this last year. So, from God's work to the devil's work, you never know. So it's just perfect cartoon material.
The prestige that comes with the Pulitzer has not only boosted the number of hits Mark Fiore's work gets, but he's convinced it will encourage the entire field of internet political cartooning.